Good morning and welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel or one of the 50% that are watching this and not subscribed, click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, as Scooby-Doo and Ed Upside Down Head did on the last stream, hit the super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And most importantly, if you would like to join the debate with the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click on the link below this video to join the debate and express your views on the shape of the Earth. There are only a couple of rules in the Hangout. Number one, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. If you are, please do not try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You will be warmly welcome back on the next stream. With that, I'm going to transition across to my photograph so I can share the show on Facebook, Skype and Twitter. And I would encourage anybody who is in the audience to hit that super share, hit that super like, and basically share the show on social media. Once more, if you're new to this channel or one of the 50% that are not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. The rig, as always. Yo to you too, my friend. Everett Anderson, good to have you here. We have been joined by Sleeping Warrior. Can you say a quick hello?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Very well indeed. I'll just transition across so people can see you. Bear with me. There we go. Platform's all yours.
Oh, is that me or you?
That's just me going on mute.
Is that me or you? It's me. Sorry. I'm just making a video about that. I don't even know where to start. I'm not even going to start with it. I was going to start with the assertion that I think Flat Earth should boycott Brenda Van Hassen at all points from this point forward for a deletion of Crow 777's videos. I simply think it's abhorrent that this is in any way defensible. It simply should not have happened. My biggest haters, the likes of Sean Hufford, Mark Taylor, them two people, I would give them a Google Plus account, a Google account thing where you share files, and I would trust them completely not to delete my shit. It's that simple. Brenda's deleted someone's stuff for no good reason, and I think that we should literally boycott that girl for that reason, because the only reason why anybody would do that is to deliberately disrupt and cause trouble. And I don't believe any baller would do that. Even my biggest haters would do that. That for me puts Brenda in a whole new category and a whole new ballpark figure of something completely different that is not a ball earther. And I think we should boycott that woman because it's not acceptable. It just simply isn't. So I'm going to start with that assertion. And I invite people to challenge me for why that should not be the case, because she should not be in Flat Earth if she's doing stuff like that. It's not acceptable. Mrs. is just backing onto the drive, so the dog's going to go a little bit mad for a minute while she realizes that her mummy's coming home.
Been joined by somebody may want to snipe you by the looks of things.
I might be getting kicked here.
I don't think so. He's already dropped off. But if that does happen, maybe I should explain this to the audience. That last time that happened, it meant that I was forced into actually figuring a way of getting you back on the panel, and that meant that you came in via Skype, and as a consequence of that, you had the clearest connection of anybody on the panel. So all it meant was you got heard more than anybody else. So kicking Anthony Riley just gives him a better voice, literally. And literally in that moment, we lost him. Hopefully he's just dropped of his own accord. Now I've lost Anthony, I'll carry on shouting out people in the chat. So, hello to Shill Scanner, good to have you here. Hello Cat Earth, pleased to see you. Physics Warrior, thanks for being here. Not entirely sure why Anthony Riley dropped. We had somebody join the hangout very briefly and then he dropped. So, if he has been sniped, I may just add him a... Oh no, here we go. Who's that? Hello? No? Imagining things. Persian, how you doing?
Hello.
How you doing? Good to have you here. Just came in to say hello. Good for you. Good to see you, Spike. Good to see you, Scooby-Doo. Good to see you, Joven. Thanks for being here. Please share the show. Been joined by A4, aka Adam Dwyer, aka 4D4M. Pleased to have you here, Adam.
Yeah, hey, how you going, Nathan?
Platform's all yours, my friend.
Oh, why isn't nobody here? Unusual.
I don't know if Anthony Riley had an internet connection. Somebody joined, but they joined a second ago, so I don't think it was nefarious. I think it's just... oh no, he's telling me to check Skype. I'll let you know in a moment, Adam. In the meantime, mic's all yours.
Ah, well, I was kicked last time I was on the show. I think you ended your show anyway, but yeah, somebody's going on their sniper sprees.
Yeah, they've sniped him already, so I'll just add him back in by Skype, so it's no big deal.
That's no good.
Do you think I touched a nerve? Oh, hang on, I'm not hearing you on Skype.
That's because I'm on mute.
Do you think I've touched a nerve?
Yeah, well, this Persian guy is obviously the guy sniping everybody. If he snipes me out, I'll just have to start a new hangout. But why he wants to snipe people, as I said earlier, if he snipes people out like yourself, who actually know me, I'm just going to add them on Skype, and then they get my connection through the desk, which is a clearer connection. But there we go.
So that bit then was going broadcast, wasn't it?
With the guy joining and sniping you?
No, that conversation that me and you just had, because I'm sure I can hear myself in the hangout.
Oh yeah, you could definitely be heard. You mean about Brenda?
Yeah, let me just mute that then. Hang on, how am I going to do this? Because I'm getting it twice.
Well,
if I have you on Skype, I'm going to get it on the public hangout as well.
Just mute the public hangout. You'll still get all of the people being able to speak to you through Skype, so you'll just hear them. If they're in the hangout, you'll still hear them.
Sure, I got it now. So if I mute the public hangout, they can still hear me and I can still hear them.
Yeah, slicker.
So who was it that came in? Let's name and shame that person.
I don't know. I think it's this Persian guy because he just sniped Adam out. But Adam's got about 1 million accounts, so I'm. Are you going to say hello, whoever you are, guest that's just sat there? If not, I'm going to boot you.
I think what's happening is they don't like it when there's topics that are contentious, are they? I mean, let's be honest. I don't think... I mean, I've got my biggest of haters. Sean Hufford, Mark Taylor. There's a couple of others that really hate me. But I would trust them with my contents of a Google account, a Google Hangout, a Google shared drive. Because I wouldn't expect them to do it, even if they disagreed with me, because ballers generally disagree with the subject matter. They don't disagree with the research that's going on, because research is credible, valid, and repeatable. They don't disagree with that per se. And I think it's totally abhorrent that lady would do that. And I don't know why anybody would accept that to be considered. And given that she's defiant over it as well, it's ridiculous. Carter thinks he sniped me no matter what he says. No, I don't know, because they've let me on last night, so I was on all night last night. Oh yes, this time yesterday.
I think we've been rejoined by Adam. I think I recognise that avatar. Is that you, Adam?
Yeah, man, that's me.
I thought it was.
Kicking out the guy me out last time so I don't get removed again. Oh, and he rejoined again.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, well, it looks like I'm going to be sniped. This is the
no, I've got him out quick enough. I'll just be quicker on the mouse.
Yeah, well,
I'll get my other mouse. It's quicker.
I've only got two accounts that I join Google Hangouts.
Get your better gun.
More than that,
but doesn't it go to show that when you touch on a topic that people don't like? No one. There are people that dislike me. There are people that dislike Nathan. We all have our haters, but I don't think any baller would delete the contents of my shared drive if I gave them the details, because you give it to them on trust. You give it to them on the trust that they're going to behave because they disagree with you. That's called mutual respect. That's decency. That's humanity, and that's what we all do. I'm going to call Brenda. Literally, I'm going to call her an agent or a shill, simply because if Patricia's being accused of being an agent or a shill, not a shill, but she does get accused of being an agent, based on absolutely nothing, what evidence is needed for somebody like Brenda, who presents evidence on at least 3 occasions that she knows to be fake as true, or if she didn't know, she was at least reckless to the truth, and then to delete the contents of Crow 777. Crow doesn't even get involved in contentious debates as far as I can see. He states his position and he talks about the philosophy, and he doesn't really fight as far as I'm aware. He may fight, he may not, I don't know. But what I do know is that to pick on Crow 777 and delete his stuff, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to start with that assertion. And what's your views? Is it Adam? I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, Adam.
What do you think?
That's my name. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say that the ball earthers that come on to these flat earth hangouts, forums, discussions, you know what I mean? Whatever you wanted to call it, like whatever it may be, anything to do with flat earth and similar theories, all the deniers of it, or people that don't have that belief system, you know, they might believe in the ball or whatever, they come in and they treat the people that do believe in it or do have altering opinions, they treat them like dirt, really. That's what I've seen. They're like antagonists. They'll do whatever they can to provoke a as much drama as they can, and then they will use that drama against whatever person. So if a flat earther goes and on and then says that they're a flat earther because of whatever reason, then you'll notice 10 to 12 to 15 to 20 ball earthers, and it's usually always the same characters. They all jump in and they all start bashing on the one person, and if that one person like starts defending themselves, well, then anything they say is used against them. Anything.
Yeah.
And I find that absolutely ridiculous. It's just like, you know, people are entitled to their own beliefs and their own opinions. And, you know, if somebody wants to believe that the Earth's flat, then that's their own free will, you know. And if they believe that they've got evidence to prove that, well, people should be like genuine enough to listen to their theories. And if they disagree, then just to move on. Like if you disagree with the theory that
stupid
much,
thing is,
there's other places for you to go. You know, there's other places where other like-minded people are, and you know, you can be, you know, more of a in a place where you're welcomed. Now, I don't know why so many ball earthers come to these flat Earth forums and whatnot just to sit there and call people names.
Yeah, I mean, let's quantify what she actually did, and let's remind people that are not aware. She not only defends her position, but she shows no remorse whatsoever. Her words actually were, "Yeah, and I'd do it again." And she's deleted 160 private files that were shared with her on trust of research of Crow from years, not a couple of photos that he did at an observation at the weekend just gone that he can get back. It's 160 files that's took him years to collect over time. Now, his niche is the moon. He spends a lot of time looking at the moon and watching for discrepancies. I heard Brenda trying to justify it on the grounds that they were bats flying in front of the camera. Well, if they were the bats flying in front of the camera, that still isn't a justification to delete. What you do with that information, Brenda, is disagree with him politely, and you say, I think they're bats flying in front of your camera. That's ridiculous. I cannot believe that Brenda thinks there's no reason for any normal human being to do that. The only reason would be that she's being paid deliberately to disrupt. Now, let's compare that level of evidence against somebody like Patricia, who's accused of being an agent, or Mark, that's accused of being an agent. Would you ever... There's no evidence of Patricia or Mark doing anything like that. But Brenda presents evidence that she knows is rubbish as true. So for those people that are in chat that are not... if they're not sure whether the Earth may be flat or not, if you're on the fence, and you've got someone presenting evidence that looks fine and dandy for curvature, but she knows it's fake, or she's at least reckless to the authenticity of it, and then she goes and deletes years worth of research from a good flat earther that's really not interested in fighting with Brenda. You've got to question what she's doing, because that goes way beyond just being a baller. Excuse me for 2 seconds, the phone's ringing.
Yeah, I'd sort of agree with that, but I'd agree on the concept that I don't know, like you said, I don't know why the ball earthers make it their so-called job. I don't know why they would waste their time really to come and argue with people that they have their belief system is so much different. They don't believe the same things. They're not interested in to look into it from the other side. What's the point of even coming here to try and argue with people about it? Like, and it's all right if you wanted to argue about it, yeah, fine. But then to antagonize people to the point of, like, in my opinion, what they've done to Crow is.
I think Adam's just been sniped as well. Yep. You still there, Anthony? He's wandered off to do something with the dogs, maybe. Interesting start to the show. Hello, new joiner, Rose. Can you say a quick hello?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Normal person. Good to see you, Rose.
Nathan?
How you doing?
How's it going, Nathan?
Pardon? Say again?
How's it going?
It's going alright, yeah. Interesting start to the show. So somebody really doesn't want Adam or Anthony to be able to talk. So far, Anthony's been sniped and then come back in on Skype. Adam's had to come in on 2 different accounts so far, so we'll probably get Adam back because I know he's got several accounts. Well, I hope we do.
Holy crap. What's going on? You got snipers and... Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
So it'll be an
getting
interesting
to the point,
one.
Nathan, where I think the flat earthers, that obviously the ones that we know are genuine flat earthers, they're going to have to get ring fenced on Skype. So we have a Skype call, and then the only people then get sniped will be the ballers, and then it creates an us v them attitude. But if that's the way it's going to go, then it has to go that way.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Fair enough. It's crazy.
Did Thingy get sniped then, Adam?
He did. I'm going to be a bit quiet because my kid's quite noisy at the moment, but yes, he did.
Try and get him in on Skype if you can, Nath.
I don't think I've got him on Skype, but he's got several accounts, so I'm pretty sure reading from his chat comments, I think he's going to come back in just to expose what's going on.
Well, I hope he does come back in, because I'd like to know how he gets back in on a second account, because I have a second account. It's not a troll account, it's not a sock account, it's a legit account. But I can't get back in if I get sniped out. And my phone's ringing again, bear with me. I'll pass the mic over to you.
Somebody's in here now. Who's that?
That's Physics Warrior. Pleased to see you. That's Physics Warrior. Pleased to see you, Physics Warrior.
No, I'm the sniper.
I'm sure you
sniper.
are. Hey, I just came in, just want to hear what's going on, what you guys are talking about, the topic with Crow 77.
Well, I just got in here. The eye in the sky. Cool. What the fuck?
Nathan, did you get my link that who I think Brenda is?
I didn't, but talk us through it.
I'm not sure, but when MGTV put on the Mad Mike show on, it was I believe Brendan Schaub and somebody else. But when I listened to Brendan Schaub, it has somewhat of a strong resonance or sound to Brenda. So if you guys want to check it out, I'm not sure.
Let's play that. Is that a link
part of the Joe Rowe show?
All right, that's great. Thanks for that.
Is that a link you provided? Can we play it and see?
It's like MGTV's Mad Mike's.
If you've got a link, I'll play it. Stick a link up. I'll stick it up and play it.
But at the very, as soon as Brendan started talking, that's when you want to listen.
The rumor was that it was going around in ISIS chat.
Thank you.
In ISIS chat, the rumor was that Brenda was married to Ron Burgundy, although Ron Burgundy completely denies this. But that was the rumor that was going round, and it's like, 2 trolls together, eh?
And you might want to find out do research on Brendan's family. It's also part of the Hollywood dark occult side here.
Are you providing this link?
Oh, hold on for a second. Let me go find it.
As long as it's not doxing her or anything.
Yeah, she's pushing the boundaries.
Hold on for 1 second.
She's pushing the... See, this is where I'm suspicious about her claims of being trans, because she says that she's a post-operative transsexual at the age of 60-something. A, she don't sound 60. The voice of a 60-year-old does not match what we hear. B, I suspect that she doesn't want to show her face for other reasons to do with basically being something other than a fair competition. And C...
What are you talking about, Nathan?
Say again?
That's not me talking, it's Anthony Riley. He's just using my line.
Oh, what the fuck is going on?
Please don't swear. Please don't swear.
All right, you sexy men. What are you doing? You're confusing me. Go ahead.
Right.
Talk.
At the beginning of the show, I got sniped straight away. And then A4 got sniped.
Well, I didn't do it to you.
No, I know. But the way round people being sniped is to join on Skype. So the reason why the Skype window was at the bottom and it's got Big Boss Man on it is to show people that we can get around it. So...
Well, you're gonna get Skype, my brother. It's gonna happen, and so what? What's your problem?
Well, it shouldn't be
Can
happening.
you deal with the Skype or not? Can you deal with fucking being attacked or not?
See you later.
Yes or no?
Nathan, I put the link in the back chat. I'm not sure how to put it.
His face, Brenda, is a he. I don't know what Brenda is. I don't know. You're definitely under attack this morning here, Nathan. Is it you that's under attack here? Is it? I don't think this is about me, is it? This is more about you.
Probably. I don't care. It's good. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
I think
it's
also
good advertising because.
Can I just check if we've still got Physics Warrior?
Yeah, he's in.
Maybe not.
Oh no, yeah, because there is a delay once he gets kicked.
Yep. Pretty sure that. Yep, there you go.
Is he in?
No,
he's gone.
Been kicked.
All right, so I guess what you'll have to do then is you'll have to just literally ring fence people into.
That's all good. This is the kind of thing that I like to have shown. So I'm more than willing to go through this. This is part of what Flat Earth is about, and I want to show it. So while on the one hand, people might be looking going, oh, this is really frustrating. It's like, well, this is part of Flat Earth. So this is what this show is. Fine, you know?
And it's interesting that VMars is in chat as well. Because every time I see somebody getting sniped, VMars is always close.
I mean, it seems unreasonable to blame PMars immediately. I know PMars has literally said, I'm going to snipe every one of your shows, but I don't necessarily take that as actual proof that he is the one doing it.
No, I wouldn't take that as proof, but guilty by association is more prevalent. Every time something weird starts happening, VMars is always around. So we can put two and two together. Circumstantial, yes, but the reality is if you're always there when there's a burglary happening, the chances are it's probably you.
I mean, fair enough. If you want to look at it in that way.
Yeah. Brenda no longer deserves our respect to be called a she. Brenda no longer deserves our respect to be called fair competition. Whether she's a he or a she, to be honest, I don't really care. But it's obvious that she's disrupting people intentionally. She was defiant yesterday. She said that she would do it again. That is not acceptable at all. Cat Earth, so are you, Riley. So am I what? VMars, it means Virgin Marsden. Because VMars is still a virgin. Claims he hasn't. He claims he's had a girlfriend at one point, but we all know that he hasn't.
I might give it maybe 5 more minutes. If we don't get anybody joining this hangout, I might start another one, because it won't mean there's a lost connection between you and I while I do that, which is quite useful.
Yeah.
But it means at the least we can get Physics Warrior back in, because he can't at the moment. Although even if I do start a new hangout,
I don't think he can. I couldn't get back in when you started that other hangout. I had to change PCs.
Maybe we've got Mentho. How you doing, Mentho? You say no? No.
Yeah, Nathan's gone, I think.
Oh, right. Did I get sniped out of my own hangout?
I don't know.
We shall see. I might have to start a new one if that's the case, if I drop off this. I don't think so, though. My sound bar thing's still bobbing up and down.
It's just... Did you kick him or did he drop?
He just dropped. Whoever's sniping is very good at it.
They are good at it.
Yeah, as I say, fortunately you're here, so it's not going to be... It's never going to reach a point where the show just ends. You know, at the worst, it'll be a 2-minute gap where I have to start a new hangout. But with you here on Skype, it makes no odds. Literally no odds. There's still people chatting away. It doesn't make any difference.
Tim Marsman, P. Mars, Grim V. Joven, Trendmaker, Twitwit, Bulldog. I don't think anything more needs to be said there, does it? It's so Adam that was in before. Is that A4?
Yeah. Or 4D4M or Adam Dwyer.
Yeah.
Or 4. When he was in the gaming forums, he just used to be called 4. And from what he told me, people knew him well enough so that if you just literally typed a number 4 into a chat room, people would get angry because they'd assume you were talking about him.
Has there been any development in the flat Earth theory then? Well, yeah, a flat earther, me, has come up with evidence to support curvature, but then dismissed it on the grounds of atmospheric conditions at the time. Not many flat earthers have done that.
If you're free, Cat Earth, feel free to join. And joined again by Mentho. How you doing, Mentho? Maybe he's trying to snipe me and failing.
I think he's trying to snipe you, because to come in and drop straight away is consistent with sniping, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't actually know completely how to do it. I know vaguely. But I'm not proficient enough to actually do it. I couldn't do it because I don't know enough how to do it. I know the principles behind it. Someone's explained it to me.
What was interesting was that I was in with Imric, chatting away last night, and he shared his desktop, and on one of the documents he had on his desktop was how to snipe. And he's one of the guys I consider to be the more reputable. The only flat Earth point I can stick to is the rotation and how we would lose time without rotating more than 360 degrees every day. Yeah, make 4. That's the compensation for the leap year every 4 years and the sidereal day. Rick doesn't snipe. No, he might not snipe, but he did have a file on his desktop that was labeled how to snipe. Now, if I really wanted to find out, I could probably find it out quite easy. But I'm actually here for the discussion, the debate, the disagreements. And if I get beat every now and again, that's all right. I don't mind getting beat if there's good evidence to show that I'm wrong. What I don't like is when people like, for example, but not limited to, Curved Water, when he cites something and then he refuses to apply what it actually says for the definition and then claims that I'm misrepresenting, but he tries to use semantics to weasel out of the interpretation of the words used. Because grammatically, if you follow the rules of grammar and you apply what the words say, then he would be wrong. Are we back?
We didn't go anywhere. I've just loaded a new Hangout. I'm just going to paste the link into the description box.
So that just means that everybody that was in chat now has to rejoin. No.
So the way it works is OBS is actually controlling the stream that goes out, and then this Hangout, if you were in the Hangout, would say off air at the top right hand corner. Yeah. So I'm using that live part of Google Hangouts, but just never actually sending it to go live. I do with the Flat Earth UK show, so I'll run both. Why not? I've got the bandwidth to do it. But with this, I don't. It's just literally the OBS stream will continue no matter what I do. So yeah, it doesn't actually matter if I get sniped. Anyway, before I get distracted, I'm just going to get the link actually into the chat room so that I can get like Johnny on the spot and snipe out the snipers when they come back in, which they inevitably will. That should have updated the link in the live chat, and I'll also post it into the chat itself in a moment.
Physics is asking, can you send the link?
I can put it in the chat. I haven't got a link to him, so no. But I can put it in the chat, which is where it is now. Yep, that's right. The link is in the info box. That's right, Eleanor. You tell him. Yeah, that's right. Subscribe today. Subscribe today, that's right. You tell him.
Bulldog was also in your hangout too, so he was probably the culprit. I don't think so. The only guilty person that I see is VMARS. He's the only one that I would point the finger at. And I don't mind being wrong because I have zero respect for VMARS. So
We lost Physics Warrior before we've even said hello to him.
I hope
here.
not.
Oh, right. We didn't get sniped this time.
So Physics,
That
what do you
turtle
know?
shell
Where are
going.
you at with this? I mean, I see you in chat, but I'm not sure what your position is.
I just got in. What was your question?
Where are you in the chat? I've seen you in chat, but I'm not sure where you stand in the whole flat Earth discussion. I'm assuming that you're a flat earther.
I mean, as far as not the physical shape, but as far as the attributes of a flat earther, being a leader of this movement, knowing things around you is fictional, having to actually put down, or actually having to see exactly what's real and what's not real. That's how I perceive myself as an earther. But as far as the shape,
Nah, we've lost him. He's just been sniped. But it's balancing up whether or not to just immediately kick them or wait for them to
Give
say
them a
hello.
chance.
But by then, they've already sniped whatever guests are in here.
I guess we need to. I don't know. It's down to you to decide. Is it worth ring fencing the flat earthers to protect them, and just leaving the ball earthers out there in the wilderness so that they can snipe themselves, or continuously fight the battle?
I don't see this
I guess
as a
it's-
battle. This is just the way. Like I say, we've still got a conversation going, so it doesn't actually matter to me either way. We're just showing what happens in flat Earth. It's kind of the
Yeah.
same when people are like, well, we're talking about this person. It's like, well, they're a flat earther, therefore related to flat Earth. And the same goes with sniping.
Just do us a favor. Just address Rizzler for why Rizzler says Riley is doing the sniping. Just explain to Rizzler personally why it cannot be the case that I'm sniping.
Well, yeah, Rizzler, he's not in the hangout to snipe anybody.
Duh.
So PMars wants me to add him to this call on Skype. So let's just
Well,
do
he
that.
can't snipe from there, can he? Yeah, but
Can't
all that's
snipe
going to
you
do
on
there,
Skype. No, of
all
course
he's
not.
going to do is start ad hom attacks on me, and I'd rather not, simply because I quite like him being in chat and being able to say what I think about him and not responding. Yes, it is selfish of me, but PMars really doesn't do anything to add or help things. I don't see how he could benefit anything. It's up to you. You can add him if you want, but he will literally start saying shit like, "Well, you're just stalking female flat earthers and shit like that." Yeah, he doesn't realize. Well, I'm not even going to go down that route. So I'll step out if PMars joins, because I'm just not going to prepare to him start slandering me ridiculously. I'd just
Well,
rather
hang on
let
a
him
second.
slander
Why
me
is he
ridiculously once I
Why is
left.
he even asking me to add him on Skype? He can just join the hangout.
Yeah, get in the hangout, PMars. You can do it from there. Riley thinks an angle can't be measured unless the lengths are known. No, that's not what I said, Curved. Another misrepresentation from Curved. I said that by measuring the angle does not give you the angular size, it just gives you the size of the angle. The angular size is a sum. It's not a measurement. Don't entertain Rizzler. He's a knuckle-dragging loser who prays to Ball Earth Model with the hope that he will get money at the end of it. I actually quite like Rizzler. He loves to hate me. It's fun. Curved water liar. He just gave it again. No, Curved. If you measure the angle of whatever it is that you're looking at, you've simply measured the angle. That does not give you the angular size. The angular size is a sum. It's not a measurement.
It's Cat Earth time. Don't snipe me. Oh.
Good for you. That's well done. So that's what you've got to do if you want to stay on the call without getting sniped by me, is immediately join and say something.
And I noticed
Sorry.
that you trolling me in chat there, Alex. I did notice.
Yeah. I was trolling. I'm a troll. That's what I do.
Yeah, but you don't do it with malice, though. That's more than acceptable.
He's already gone.
Oh, he's been sniped. You sniped him?
Well, there's no one here. I don't know how he could possibly be sniped. No one's here. Maybe he just dropped himself for comedic effect. I think he is. He's drawn a rolling around laughing face. I think he's just messing with us. I assume
Riley may do
dropped
dum
of his
dum,
own
but Riley
volition.
understands that the difference between angular size and measuring the angle is a sum over a measurement. Curve doesn't get it. And no matter how much you try and semantically argue your way out of the grammatical construction of the sentence curved, it doesn't change the fact that the angular size is not the blah 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 derp derp derp. I've lost what I was going to say.
Adam.
Oh, he got
So back to
sniped.
square one. We got Adam back. Although Adam's now dropped.
Yeah, but hang on. Cat Earth says, "Nah, I got sniped."
But how
So
can
he's
he be
somehow
getting
got
sniped?
sniped
There's no one in the
without even
hangout.
being in-
There's literally nobody in the hangout. How can he be getting sniped if there's no one in the hangout? I don't understand sniping well enough to know what's going on. Maybe Adam in the chat can explain what's going on.
I don't know.
There's
an
an account in the hangout
chat
chat.
called. There you go. There's an account in the hangout chat. If you go to hangout chat called Luke's or something, that'll be the guy.
How do you get into the hangout chat? Okay. Because I can
So you
never
have to
figure
go
it
to
out on my iPad if I go
hangouts.google.com
into the.
and look at it there.
If I go into my iPad, how do I find this call?
Hangouts.google.com.
No. Oh, do you have to go in via the PC? You can't go in on the app.
No, you have to go in via the PC.
Damn. Okay. Okay, so I'm in Hangouts. So what now? How do I find this call?
Well, there should be a list. If you go to Google, if you go to hangouts.google.com, on the left-hand side you've got the contacts, and on the right-hand side you should have the chats that you're active in, and you'll probably have a massive list, but it'll be the top one. And that's, if you open up the top one, you should see. Well, it should be just you and people coming and going, but there'll be one continuous variable, and that one continuous variable will be the dodgy one.
I don't know. I can't see the call I'm in now. All I've got is Texas, Infinite Plane, Tim Osman, and then a group call with Easter Hall. I can't actually see the call I'm in now. Phone calls. No.
On the left-hand side, there should be an icon that says calls.
Conversations? Calls.
Yeah, I think it's either the first or the second icon on the left-hand side. One of them should be people, and one of them should be calls.
Yeah, so I've got menu, then contacts, then conversations, then
That
phone
one.
calls.
It's either conversations or phone calls. One of them will bring up all the hangouts you've ever joined, unless you've deleted yourself out of them.
No. I've got all these calls up, but none of them seem to be the one I'm in now. Would it be
In
at the
that case,
bottom of
I
the
don't
list
know.
as opposed to the top? Man, there's just so much stuff in here.
Yeah, just generally select all and delete, and that'll get rid of all the. Do you constantly get notifications on your phone telling you that
Now turn
such
it
a
all
body
off.
joined the chat?
This is just a complete mess of just a million different people trying to contact me on G Plus and me ignoring all of them.
I never used you. I find Google the Hangout side of it really counterintuitive. It's not something I enjoy. It's horrible.
Oh, where the hell is the
Right.
conversation I'm in now? You'd think that would be the easiest one to find.
The only downside of doing this via Skype is I can't. Oh, actually, I was going to say I can't join the chat, but I can. I've just realised how I can join the chat. I'm watching it spinning on the actual thingy. Give me a sec when my phone's ringing again.
Well,
One sec.
can you see the watch page?
Oh. Yeah, I can. Just give me 2 seconds, mate. I've just got to answer the phone.
Ah, okay. So if you can talk me through how to find it on the watch page, I'll be able to find it and get rid of whoever's sniping absolutely everybody. Fake Tim Osman says, great show. Well, this is the show we're having. Like it or lump it. Hit that super chat, my friend. Hi again, Adam. How you doing?
There, I'm going to try and protect your show for a little while.
Oh, thanks.
I
Can you
just
see the
removed
watch
guy that
page?
was
Can you see the Hangout page itself?
You could do it on your you could do it on the iPad if you open up the Hangouts app. It's similar to what you would see on a laptop.
Uh-huh.
So have a whole bunch of chats going on, and then from there you go into the chat that is active. Oh, so Grand Sock just joined. I'm probably going to get kicked because I was just going to it. So, oh no, I've got him out first. But yeah, you go to the active call that's going at the moment, and then from there you go to up in the top right hand corner. This is in the app, that is, and then you'll see 3 little dots. You click on that, and then you'll see people.
Yeah.
And then you click on that, and it'll take you to the list of people. And then at the moment, it'll only say me, John Smith.
Yeah, I just can't find the current Hangout. That's the only problem I'm having. Literally, I've got a list of about 400 Hangouts.
It should be the one up the top.
Yeah, my top one is invitations. And then the one underneath it is my chat yesterday with Cathexis. And yeah, no Hangout. Weird.
I'm not too sure. Are you in the right one? It'll be you have to be over, like if you're on the app, you've got a little person symbol down the bottom, a little star, and then you've got a little message symbol. If you go to the messages one, like
I'm
the
on
third
that
symbol across.
Yeah, third one across.
Click on that. Then like my one is the top one is your active call. It's got a little green camera on the right hand side to indicate that it's an active call.
Yeah, I don't have it. It just doesn't appear in my Hangout page. I'm definitely in the right account.
Yeah, I'm not too sure then.
Weird.
But yeah, you're not even in the call.
Me?
Yeah, no, you're not even in the call because I think PMARS set you up in a way where they can't snipe you. So the only way to snipe you would be to add you to the call.
Right.
And I can't add you to the call.
So that's why they can't snipe me out.
Yeah, that's why they can't snipe you out, because like there is a way for them to do it, but they have to be on your friends list. Like, so now if I'm trying to search you up, Nathan Oakley 1980, or even just Nathan Oakley, none of your accounts, I'm showing no results because I don't have you as a friend on the Google Hangouts part.
Right.
So they have to have a friend, and then you'll show up, and then they can re-add you to the call. And if they re-add you to the call, then they can snipe you from the Hangout. There's like there's a way to do it. There's a way for people to snipe people that are unsnipeable, because it was about a couple of months ago, about 6 months ago or something like that, when that the Big L character, if you remember him. Yeah, he was doing it to people that were unsnipeable, and then I ended up learning how to do it, so then I could try to counter him. And yeah, he had like 2 other guys doing it with him, so I ended up just leaving them alone, because yeah, any hangout that I went into, they would add me to the call and then remove me before I could even get in there. So it was just a game of just back and forth trying to remove the snipers, but yeah, they were too quick, really. They've got like I said, I've only got 2 actual emails that I go off, so once I'm sniped twice, I'm done. I can't get back in the calls. Like, I do have a lot of accounts that are attached to one of my accounts, that's on YouTube itself. But on the Google, you need an actual email, where on YouTube, it's easy as just going to add account. You know what I mean? You go to your settings, you go to your profile, then you go to your, I think it's create profile or edit profile or something like that. And then you have an option in there somewhere that says create new channel. And then from there, you can just keep on creating new channel. And that's all I've done on YouTube. So when people say, oh, you've got 100 accounts, yeah, on YouTube, because YouTube lets you do it. YouTube lets you make as many as you want on YouTube itself under the one email. But to join one of these calls like this, you have to have an email. And once, like I said, I've only got 2. So if I get kicked out both of the actual emails, then yeah, I've got no other way of joining. I know how it all works though, but yeah, I'm not like the shields that are going to go out and create a million different emails, so then I can control that type of thing. If people are going to snipe, then it shows me that they're not really worthy of conversation anyway.
Well, it obviously shows that the trolls and the agents have had a meeting over the weekend, and they've obviously they've had the bum smacked because they're getting too friendly with the flat earthers. Because the flat earthers are actually a decent bunch of people on the whole. Yeah, there are bad ones in there. We all generally know who they are, but essentially, flat earthers are decent people, and they've obviously had the bum smacked because literally they're getting too close. So this is why first thing Monday morning, boom, 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 boom. Riley has no sense or shame.
I find it tedious though. I've seen this happen for years now. Like I've been around for years, and I find it as an antagonistic tactic where they try and antagonize people to the point of retaliation. Like Nathan's running a pretty good show where, like, even though sometimes I'll go into his chat and say, Nathan, man, you've let like 12 ballers join and no flat earthers are allowed to join at the moment because it's full. He doesn't, he's trying to be unbiased and let debate go on, you know what I mean? So it's sort of best in, best, you know, first in, first serve sort of thing, you know? So you got to be quick to try and get in, and, you know, he doesn't kick you unless you've broken the rules of swearing, which is understandable. But what I see is they're trying to ruin his show. And if that was me, Nathan's position, I'd get angry. I'd get angry, and then I'd say some things, and whatever you say, they will record it and they'll bring it up at a later time and then try and use it against you. You know, so they antagonize people to the point of retaliation. Then once you retaliate, they'll use that against you, and you know they won't tell people what actually brought you to that point. They'll just say you said X, Y, and Z, therefore whatever. You know what I mean? They try and defame a real person, but yet they sit behind these fake sock accounts.
Yeah, who never show the face and yet claim to be credible. I mean, look at Curved. I don't think Curved is a genuine.
Never said his real name. At least I know your name.
Yeah, I mean, look at Curved. I don't think Curved is genuinely a ball earther, because to actually continue to go on and on and on about this anglicized thing when you know that you're misrepresenting what is being said, that's a whole new level of stupid, Curved. I mean, you're an intelligent guy, yet you still claim this, that I'm being semantical by applying the correct grammatical interpretation of what's being said, and you still continue to defy the correct grammatical interpretation of what's being said, and yet cite me as being dumb. That's a whole new level of stupid. Or you're being paid to sit in lurking chats all day, literally to troll us. Riley, if you're available,
yeah, that's what I've put it down to. I've put it down to them being trolls, and like more than trolls, they're agents. You know what I mean? They're provocateurs. They're paid to come in and derail a show that doesn't suit the agenda of whatever media company is paying them. You know, I don't believe that it's like CIA or FBI or some three-letter corporation, or
no, not at all. I think it's just dickheads just trying to.
I think it's a media company that's losing out on the views that they would have usually got from. You know, now Flat Earth is around, and now Flat Earth is on YouTube. A lot of media companies that would have got the views of other people, like I used to scroll through Alex Jones's video. I used to watch a few TYT videos. I used to watch like a whole different variety of videos. Now I tend to come towards the Flat Earth videos a lot more. So I would see that these media companies that are losing their viewers would try and sabotage these type of shows and other shows that have Flat Earth related discussions going on. So then they may be able to get their viewers back. I've been saying that for years. Like, you know, it's when I say agent and whatnot, I'm talking about media companies that are pushing their paid trolls in. And there's an Alex Russell Brand video out there that shows that he's having an argument or had a discussion with MSNBC, and then he turns around and he points to all the people that are on the computers within that media company, and he says, what are these people doing? And then the hosts of the show elaborate, and they say, well, they're paid to be there. They're paid to go on Facebook and Twitter, and it would be YouTube is one of the social media sites that they'd be paid to go on and then promote that company without actually being, you know, it's a shill. That's what a shill is to promote something and get a payment for it, but act as if you're just a bystander.
Just addressing what's his name, Miles Davis. Miles Davis got called out maybe 3 weeks ago, and he's been below the radar for 3 weeks since being called out. And now he's popped back up again and he's put his head above the parapet. And that's excellent because I've been waiting for you, Miles, for a while. Miles, I said to you yesterday I was free all day today, and I am free all day today, but I'm on chat right this second. So obviously I'm not free at this second, but I'm free to chat with you anytime. And I look forward to an arranged time with you so we can spend a bit of time together and we can sort out the issue that we have together. Your position is clear. You think that I was wrong over the Isle of Man observation. My position is clear. I've called you out on it because I can address you completely. And I look forward to running into you again, Miles. But I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing just for you because my intentions are to do this chat hangout with Nathan, then go for a bath. And if you are available at some point and we arrange a time, I can put my bath off and I can come and do my bath later, or I can work around you, Miles. I do have a life, but if you tell me a time that you're free, I'll make sure that I'm free too. So it's entirely up to you, Miles. But right this second, I'm not free. But I can be free if you tell me when you're free.
Critical thinking always says no one's being paid.
No, they might not be paid. It's like the way I see flat Earth is like football. And if you're a flat earther, you, for example, are a Man United fan. And if you're a ball earther, you are, for example, a Liverpool fan. And Liverpool don't get on with Man United. So it's essentially like football in the sense that whatever side of the fence you're on, you dislike the others. Now, the vast majority of football fans don't fight. There is that small section of hardcore idiots that cause problems. And that's what we're seeing in Flat Earth. We're seeing what do they call them now? They call them hardcore fans, don't they? There's a special name they give them other than hooligans.
Provocateurs. Hooligans.
Yeah, there's one they give them. There's a name that goes beyond hardcore and hooligan, and I can't remember what it is now. But in any event, the reality is, you get factions from both sides. And Sean's in chat. Sean, do me a favor. Just give me a yes or a no, Sean Hufford. If I gave you evidence on a Google shared drive, like you've given me evidence on a Google shared drive, Sean, would you delete my evidence that I gave you just to be spiteful? Or would you challenge them and laugh at me and ridicule and scorn or whatever? Because I don't think you would delete my stuff if I gave you them. I really don't. I know that you dislike me and you like to ridicule me and all that, and that's fine. The banter, the back forth is fine, whatever. But would you actually delete stuff that I gave you? I would assert that you wouldn't. I would assert that I could trust you not to delete that. Even if I did or did not have a copy on as a backup is irrelevant. I would trust you not to do that.
I'd also like to address the people in chat saying that no one is paid. There are people that are on the internet and even in places like this that are paid to be here. And every media company employs a network of, I'll just say people for now. I won't call them trolls. I won't call them shills. They employ a network of people to sit there and promote their company. And those people, they come to places like this to spread their message or to sway people's opinion into going and looking into whatever it is that they're trying to promote at the time. And usually the media company that they're employed by will be the front line of that. They will have the information present.
The bigger
Every
picture,
media
of course,
company
is that they don't like
has
all
a
these
network of
debates
people.
happening.
And to say that that doesn't occur or isn't happening, that's a fraud right there. You're lying to yourself. I don't care if you're trying to lie to me. That's fraudulent to yourself. If you actually believe that there's no such thing as a network of people paid by each media company, well, then go and look into it. They don't hide the fact.
I'm just going to read Sean Hufford's reply just so it's not you speaking his words and then your own. So Sean Hufford says, the only time I have deleted anything you have presented was the photos you bought since I didn't buy the license to have them. In other words, he had some images that you shared that were copyright images. He looked at them and then deleted them because they weren't his. I think that's right.
And the thing is, I would trust Sean, even though Sean and I don't particularly get on and we are kind of like mutual enemies or whatever, I would trust Sean with 160 of my evidences that were shared with Sean because I know that he wouldn't delete them. He may disagree with me and he may do videos and whatever. Fine, that's banter, that's back and forth, and that's totally fine. I get it. But he wouldn't delete them. That's the point. He would not maliciously delete them. And if he did delete them, and then somebody pointed it out and said this is not acceptable, he would not stand there in defiance and say F you, which is exactly what Brenda did last night. Brenda stood there and said I'd do it again, and I'm like, you what? And that was the reason why I left last night. I left in protest of that because I wanted to think about it, and I thought, how bad is bad? I mean, they stoop low, these guys, at times. Now, Sean, to be fair, he's an idiot, but he's harmless, and he would never be manipulative and that kind of deceitful and destructive, because he would disagree and take the mick. That's fine, but he would never delete stuff. So to delete stuff, and it was Crow 777, and he spent years doing all that work he spent years doing it, many hours of watching nothing, and then something happens and he's like, oh, what was that? Years and years. So it's like, is anyone defending Brenda's action here? No, but I'm putting it out there and reminding people that this is the kind of thing that we're dealing with. I mean, Nathan's getting hassled right now. And it's probably, I don't know. They don't like us talking. They don't like us communicating with each other and just discussing something that we're just expected to accept is true. I don't actually enjoy being a flat earther because I would much rather have the easy life, the comfortable life. I don't need to come on and fight with you guys. I don't need to waste my time. But I want to know what the truth is. I want to know, is it true that we live on a ball? And it should be demonstrably the case. It's not that big. We can test it. 8 inches per mile squared creates a big curve, and we should be able to see it easily. And I'm not getting it. I got it once, and it was very cold and very dry. But I'm interested in the debate. I'm interested in the discussion. I'm interested in the characters in it. And as much as I don't get on with everybody like Matt Taylor or Sean or whatever, I actually enjoy the interaction with them because I enjoy the back and forth. It is stimulating psychologically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually. It is stimulating. And I enjoy the chat. And that's what it should be about. It should be about discussion, debate, disagreement, and back and forth banter. But it's not.
I'm just going to do a
beyond.
link, Anthony, if it's okay. So I'm just going to pop you on mute just for 1 second. Same with you, Adam. My apologies if you did want to get something in urgently, but we have about an hour left on this stream, so I'm going to do a few links. If you are new to this channel, or you are one of the 50% of the people watching this and not subscribed already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live. And most importantly, and now we've got the sniper, if you would like to join this show, there is a link in the info box below this video. With the page you are currently watching on mute, simply click on that link to join the show and express your views on the shape of the earth. There are a couple of rules. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, but if you are, you will be welcome back on the next show. If you've not done so already, please share the show on social media. And with that, I'll unmute these two guys so they can carry on chatting.
Just addressing Miles, it should be about the evidence. I agree completely. It should be about the evidence. That's why I go out and try and get evidence that goes either way. I've been trying to get curvature for 18 months, never got it. Got it once on Friday, just gone. Presented that evidence and I asked for people's views on it. I agree, it should be about evidence. But unfortunately, there's not that much evidence coming our way on the side of the ball earthers. And the evidence that does come our way is often either misrepresentation, deliberate disinformation, or deceit. It's that simple. So, yeah, I agree. It should be about the evidence. But the banter comes with it. The banter does come with it. If you're a flat earther and you present evidence, unfortunately, you can't get away from it. You are going to attract the attention of certain people, and you have to put up with that. Who was the sniper, Nathan?
I don't know. I don't care either. I'm glad it's got on the tape, though. I'm glad people get to see that.
I thought you said that you'd gotten.
No, Adam did.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it was yeah, am I still there? Yeah. The guy called Lucas or something like that.
One thing I will say is it's just, I don't think it's fair to blame P. Mars as much as you want to, or guilty by association. Yeah, just don't buy that. You know, the amount of times I've seen people accuse P. Mars and then apology videos that have followed.
Sorry, Nathan. I personally think that it was either Tim Osman, Jovan Trendmaker, Twitwit, or what would be another suspect, that Bulldog person. Because I've known them for years now, and this type of thing has been happening all the time when they're around. As soon as they start losing a discussion or a debate or anything like that, or it doesn't go their way, it seems to go downhill like this. It seems that they will try and ruin the show via sock accounts. And the funny thing is, they never use their actual account to do it. So I'll give credit to P. Mars in the sense that if he was to come on and do it, I think that he'd just do it off his P. Mars account. I've seen him do that, you know what I mean? I've actually watched him do it, and it's usually just straight off his P. Mars account, and then he goes into chat and says that it was him that done it.
I agree.
Where this seems more like a malicious attempt to derail the show. And
exactly. P.
Yeah,
Mars would say, I'm going to
the
snipe you,
that I
and then
said.
he'd snipe you.
Yeah.
So you'd know it was him, and he'd want you to know it was him. And by all standards, that's how he consistently has done it, and then admitted to it. But then when people have accused him of various different, trolley type activities, I normally see the same pattern, which is people blame P. Mars, just like Anthony has done, and then about 2 or 3 days later, they find some conclusive proof that it wasn't him, and they have to apologise to him. And I've seen that loads of times.
Well, guilty by association is often good evidence as well. And he's always lingering around. He always seems to be there. I mean,
did you notice that Joven Trendmaker was there though? That guy has been trolling me for years. He was around when I first started looking into conspiracies, and I ended up on the crisis actor false flag attacks. If you know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah.
I ended up with the groups that were trying to expose that, and he was all over their shows doing exactly the same thing, trolling, taking people's hangouts out. He used to join on a sock account and then spam porn, so similar to what Tim Osmond does. These people are known for it. That's what I mean. Like, I've the people that I named, the Tim Osmond, the Joven Trendmaker, the Twitwit, the Bulldog character, they've all been around for years doing this. They take people's channels down. My first channel that I made, which, like Nathan said, it was called 4, that got taken down because people like Joven Trendmaker come on and porn bomb me. And I had videos on my channel at that time, on that channel, that had over like 500,000 views on it. They went viral. I'd exposed the Virginia shooting. I'd exposed the Sydney siege. Actually put actors in the place of like the show. I said this person is an actor, and then linked them to an actual acting company, and then showed them acting in another scenario. So, like I said, these media companies that are out there that are affiliated to whatever story they're trying to promote, they send out their shills to try and sway the opinion of people. And then they're always going to have like these random sock accounts that pop up in the chat and then say, oh, that's stupid. There's no way that the people are paid to be here because there's only 60 people here. Well, there's 60 people that YouTube's letting that number go. Like, for all we know, there's about 1,000 people watching and YouTube suppressing the actual number. For all we know, there could be 10,000. It's supposed to be worldwide. I'm from Australia. Nathan's from England. You're from England, if I'm right, Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people from America. There's people from like Sweden and whatnot. Like, there's people all over the world, and they're trying to tell us that there's only 60 people here. I don't believe that. I believe that there's a lot more people that they actually tell us than they actually tell us, and a lot of the media companies are suppressing it. Not just YouTube itself. YouTube would be affiliated to all these other companies like CNN and MSNBC, NBC, 7, 9, all these media companies. They've all got a reason to try and take down these alternative media channels because these are free. Where if you click on their channels, they're getting paid for it downright. If I go to CNN and start clicking on their videos, they're getting payments for it. They've got 1 million views. They don't want something like this, taking over and then people coming to these shows to get their information instead of going to them.
But I don't think this show's getting more than the number shown. I mean, just going by the...
I do.
Really?
I do. I believe that it is.
I used to at the first.
I agree.
In the early days I did, but in the early days I thought it because I was self-indulgent and paranoid.
Yeah, but if you look at how fast the chat goes at times, that's a good sign that there's more people in that it indicates. When the chat's going really quick and it's saying that there's only 36 people in, you're like, nah, that's not 36 people.
Well, I can go now to the Young Turks channel or the Alex Jones live stream, and this chat is going faster than their chat.
So they're view botted,
and their
but they're completely view botted, and you know it.
Or more people in there, so.
But they're view botted. Their channels are view botted. So are some flat earthers who I won't name. But there's more legitimate viewers here than there is on these view botted channels. So, like look at the comparison of that. You've got more legitimate viewers viewing your show. Your chat's got legitimate comments coming through. So why wouldn't a channel like, say, the Young Turks or Alex Jones take offense to that and be like, well, we've had to view bot our show just to make it seem legitimate, and this guy that's talking about flat Earth, he gets more legitimate viewers than we do. Let's just send a couple trolls in and try and take down his show, or make it look insane, make it look, you know what I mean, like make these people look paranoid. Yeah, I mean that I can agree with. I mean, I don't have any evidence for it, but it seems plausible. It seems logical as well.
I don't, but I've got proof, and proof is just to compel the mind to assert something is true. There's, just the concept that I've put out there. That's proof enough alone. People can then go do that research on their own and then come up with their own evidences. But I've already put the proof out there. The proof is to compel the mind. I might not have compelled everybody, but if I can even compel one person to start looking into it, that's proof. And I find it amazing that none of the ball earthers that are usually here on the regular aren't here. No, why aren't they here when all this really weird stuff started going down? Like, this hasn't happened to your show before. All these, like, people getting removed and whatnot. You've had to change your hangout and whatnot. That hasn't happened on any of your previous shows. So it's a little weird that all the
times. No, it has.
Regulars,
it has happened. This isn't the first time. I've had to do this a couple of times before.
On your debate forums, though, on this debate.
Yeah. No, this isn't a new occurrence. Neither is the porn bombing. So I've been porn bombed as well. None of it fusses me. In fact, I'm pleased. I want this sort of thing to happen. So I listened to your explanation earlier, Adam, when you were like, what they want is to get a reaction with me going, let's pick someone random in the audience. Make 4, you bastard! I'm gonna get you. That's what they want you to do. Yeah. Whereas I don't. I'm more than happy for them to show what happens in flat Earth, and this happens a lot. So to show it on my show and still have the ability through a bit of I'm proud of myself, but through a bit of technical savvy, we can still have a 3-way conversation. This is still a reasonably good show. No, it's not a heated flat Earth debate with a load of globers and a load of flat earthers, but this is still the show we're having, and it's still a conversation, and we're talking about something that is very flat Earth related. So I'm elated. This is good.
Yeah, I think this is good too, to actually show what does occur, and I'm glad that you didn't fall victim to the things that I've fallen victim to, or other people, where they've tried to push us for a reaction and we've given a negative reaction, and they've been able to hold that against us now. You know what I'm talking about, Nathan. Every time that these certain individuals pop up, they always try and bring it up, so then it derails the conversation away from flat Earth into Adam's a bad guy because he said this, he said X, but they never tell you what led me to X. They never tell you the progression, what it took to actually get me there. Took about 2-3 years of actual porn bombing me, sitting there name calling, until the point where then I started reacting, and then it just got worse and worse on my behalf because they never stopped. So I thought, well, what's the point in treating these people civilly if they're not going to treat me civilly?
But this is where I also encourage, it's really easy to react at the time, but in retrospect, what we should do is just enjoy it, because at the end of the day, they're triggered. When they're doing this, they're triggered. And yeah, it's inconvenient, but ultimately, yeah, I agree with Nathan. He's found a way around it, and great. They can't do anything, and I enjoy that. 2 fingers up in it, sticking 2 fingers up.
If Make 4 can give me his email, I can add him to the call, I think.
is interesting that there's no globe heads on. I mean, we've got Curved Water in the chat. I don't know if he just can't join, but I wouldn't have thought so.
No, he said he doesn't want to join because he'll just get sniped. He thinks it's a trap.
I don't think so. I don't think that's possible anymore because the guy who was sniping has been sniped out of the back chat, which I couldn't get him out of because essentially, from what I understand now, I'm invisible in the Hangout, which means that's a disadvantage because I can never find the call in the app or the web page, the Hangouts, not Hangouts on air. But that means... Yeah, I'm reading the chat, Curve Water. Anyway, yeah, I can't get in, but that means that people can't snipe me out unless they go through a whole rigmarole to try and do so. But then they've still got to be my friend on that page, and I don't talk to anyone on Hangouts. So, it seems like I'm not going to get sniped out my own Hangout, which is great. Because otherwise I'd be constantly battling to just keep a show on the air that was potentially joinable.
Well, that's it, isn't it? And ultimately, I mean, it comes back to the point I said earlier. At some point, if it's going to be the decision, do you ring fence the flat earthers so that we can talk privately but publicly on Skype? Talk publicly but privately on Skype to protect the flat earthers from being sniped, or is it just random attacks for everybody that's happening? I just think that they just don't like us. Like, isn't it funny that they don't like us talking like normal? They don't like us just chatting about it. Isn't it funny that it just... I don't know, I just think that they're triggered at the minute. I think their leader, Mr. Osman, has told them all, hey guys, you're getting too close to these. Make sure you do more sniping. It's not acceptable. I can just imagine that they had a Skype hangout at some point last night and said, right, this is what happened for the last week. We had Riley doing this. We had Nathan doing that. We had such a buddy doing this. We had such a buddy doing that. Blah, blah, blah.
I think from what Curve Water's saying, he thinks that Adam will snipe him out if he joins.
I won't snipe anybody.
Alex says Nathan wants to be sniped. No, Nathan doesn't want to be sniped. What Nathan is happy... I'm going to stop talking to myself in the third person. So what I want is for the events that take place on Flat Earth to be shown to the wider audience. So for some people, when this happens, there's a big panic and it's like, oh no, my show's going wrong. For me, no, this is the show. So good. So be it.
Yeah, here is the show. This is the show. So if it gets written off as a shit show, because that's kind of what it is actually being at the minute, then so what? But at least we can say, well, this is the way that ball earthers behave. Because I don't think there's any flat earthers that behave like this, right? I don't know any flat earther that does this. I don't know any flat earther that's ever sniped anybody. Not one. I mean, there may well be the one somewhere, but I don't know any.
That's a pretty bold assertion. I'm pretty sure there are flat earthers that have sniped people. There must be.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know any. All the flat earthers that I know are interested in whether we live on a ball or not.
It keeps on saying, I'm trying to add that the make for dude, and it keeps on saying in the chat, something happened to stop make for joining this group. So I'm not too sure. I've added the email. The email comes up and everything, and I'm able to push on the tick to add the person to the call, but then it says something happened to stop make for joining this group.
I booted him as soon as he joined, if that makes any difference, because I just assumed he was another sniper. And then from the chat, he was like, oh, I actually am a guest. I did actually want to join. I was like, I'm really sorry. Next show, you'll be able to.
Maybe. I'm not too sure, though. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe because the host kicked him, it might not let him rejoin. I'm not too sure, though. But yeah, it's saying something happened to stop make for joining this group. If you have another email that you use, I can try to add that one. Make for. And Curved Water, I have no intentions of sniping you or anybody else. I'm only trying to help Nathan from his show getting screwed up. I only kept on trying to join so then I could take out the sniper. Because I know Nathan's not really into all the back parts of these types of chats, and I know how it works, so I'm more than willing to try and help him as much as I can while other people join. If you want to have conversations with Anthony, I'm more than willing to just sit back and mute myself and try and make sure that nobody does get sniped.
Spherical Earth, at least quote me in context. Come on, this is what Sean does. And the reason why I don't speak with Sean, because he misquotes me all the time. He deliberately misrepresents my words all the time. Get me right. I didn't say eclipses happen every month over the ocean. Put it in context. I've given you the link. Go and watch the video. It's addressed comprehensively in there. Spherical Earth, what is an eclipse, Anthony? An eclipse is when Curved comes on and makes an assertion, and then Riley kicks his ass and shows what the reality is. That's an eclipse, because then Riley eclipsed Curved.
Fanny Lancer seems to think he has a quote from you. Did you read that?
Fanny Lancer. Fancy a threesome with me and my wife baby. What's a wife baby? I have no idea what that even means.
That's not a quote, Fanny. You're a liar. Apparently.
I've never heard of a wife baby.
He's laughing, so I think he's just joking. So what's Spherical Earth taking out of context then? He's saying that you specifically said that eclipses happen once a month over the ocean.
No, Mark Taylor said something that I picked him up on, and we had a back and forth. We had a bet of £1,000, and we had, in the end, basically, everything I say gets misrepresented for what I actually say. So I had to correct the position with the evidence to prove what I actually said, and I did it comprehensively in the video. So if there's any misunderstandings or anything about this £1,000 bet with Mark Taylor, go and look at the video, go and look at what I actually said, and then you can put it into context. Because if you misrepresent or don't understand the context, then it just gets distorted out of all perceptions, and then everybody thinks that Riley lost the bet. But the reality is, Mark did lose the bet. Have you noticed that Mark never asks for his £1,000 anymore? Speaks volumes. So
been joined by Miles Davis. Pleased to have you, Miles Davis.
Hello there.
Good morning, Miles.
Very pleased to have you here.
Good afternoon.
Well, let's quote Miles on some things that he said. You think that I'm a dishonest liar, Miles?
I think what?
You think I'm a dishonest liar? Do you have any evidence to support the assertion?
Sorry, I think you're intellectually dishonest. I don't think you argue any point in an honest way. And I think you have been caught out telling out and out lies. For example,
so
claiming
what
not to have watched videos that you've commented on, claiming not to have watched videos that appear on your own timeline with the view bar being full. For just as a couple of examples.
Right, so you understand that autoplay is a thing?
Yeah, I understand that autoplay is a thing, but it's happened on more than one occasion.
No,
I'd be surprised.
Can you just clarify what you're referring to when you say
other situations? But every person on Earth is a liar.
No, hang on. Let's just go back to that statement. You said it's happened on more than one occasion. What specifically are you referring to?
Your claims not to have seen videos. You claimed you hadn't looked at a video of mine, and yet you appear in the comment section on it.
He's already so
you've
taken
at
that
least
argument.
gone to that. At least gone to that page. Now, why would you be commenting on a video that you haven't even bothered looking at?
What? I don't even know what you're talking about. So you need to present the evidence of what you say I'm supposed to have done.
No, I don't. I just need to tell you that that's a fact.
No, that's called hearsay. That's not a fact. A fact is something that you prove to be true.
I'm telling you it's a fact. So either you're calling me a liar now.
I'm asking you for the evidence. That's not calling you a liar.
Well, I'm not going to.
So let me get this straight.
I didn't come on here.
Hang on.
I didn't come on here to discuss with you whether you have lied in the past
that I'm
lying,
and I'm asking you for the evidence
or not.
Do you have any evidence that I've lied to you?
You have described, Anthony. Can you just let me finish? Okay, I didn't come on here to discuss whether you are a liar or whether you're dishonest. I came on here to just give you a chance. I came on here to give you a chance to explain why you think I got the Isle of Man video wrong. Now, if you want to have a debate about whether you've ever lied in your life or not, that's fine.
Let's deal with the assertion that started the conversation that I lied about watching your video that you said I then commented on. Can you show that evidence? Because unless you can show that evidence,
I can do, but I'm not going to waste half an hour now because I don't have the time.
So then you have to
dredge through all the comment sections on my video to find the relevant one and to find the point in one of our discussions where you actually said you'd never even looked at the video.
Right. So prove that point or retract your statement.
No, I will not retract my statement. My statement is utterly true. And if you want to prove it wrong, fine, go ahead.
Right, but without evidence to prove that you're correct. So your assertion is that I claim that I've not.
I'm not trying to convict you in a court of law, Anthony. I'm simply making a comment of something that you've done in the past.
But
now, can we get to the Isle of Man?
Let me quote you on something you said earlier on in text. Your words were, "It should be about evidence, not about debate or back and forth."
Absolutely, and I was referring to the curved earth. You were talking about banter on here, and I said it should be about evidence, not about banter. But that was
and I'm asking you to
present
present the evidence that you claim that I was lying about, and you won't do it, and you will not retract your statement either. So how can we move forward at this point?
We can move forward because you can start talking about the Isle of Man.
No, hang on. I'm prepared to talk about Isle of Man, but we're dealing with the point that you made.
Go on then, talk about it.
No, you either retract your previous statement or provide evidence to show that it's true.
No, I don't have to do that. I can tell you that I have a green car. I don't have to prove to you that I have a green car. You can take it or you can leave it.
No, but I'm asking you to prove, and if it's about evidence, which you claim it is about evidence, I'm asking you to prove that the assertion that you made about me that I lied on one of your videos to be true. Prove that point to be true.
No.
Then there's no further conversation.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that here. It would take me a lot of time to trawl through all the stuff to find the exact points. I'm not going to do that. So
why make?
As I said, you can take it or leave it. It's up to you.
I think you're at an impasse.
You seem to be avoiding
the only way to move forward is for Anthony to accept that it's easier to make a baseless assertion than it is to provide evidence, and then we can move forward.
Yeah, but I have a problem with the claim that in some way that I'm intellectually dishonest or whatever it was that he said about me 2 minutes ago.
I'm pretty sure we've established that it's a baseless assertion.
That's an opinion. That's an opinion. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, but it is literally baseless. It's just your opinion. Yeah.
So
I accept. I'm not prepared to my opinion that Anthony argues in an intellectually dishonest way is my opinion.
Yeah, but you're arguing without evidence. So how can you criticize me for being intellectually dishonest if you haven't got evidence to support your assertions?
I don't need to provide evidence to support my opinion unless I so choose. That's an opinion. You can take it or leave it.
No, it was an assertion, and I've asked you to prove it to be true. You can't prove it to be true.
I know you've asked.
You've admitted you don't have the evidence, but you also will not retract your statement. That makes it dishonest.
It doesn't make it remotely dishonest. It is my opinion. I have given my opinion.
Well, no,
I've given my opinion about
you've asserted that Anthony's made comments on a video. I mean, that would be really easy to prove. Sorry, Miles.
How about you actually talk about it?
He's asked you to provide evidence of something that you've asserted, and I don't see that as unreasonable. But
I haven't asserted anything. I have given an opinion.
It's not an opinion, Miles. It's an assertion.
He's made comments on your videos. That would be really easy to prove.
It's an opinion.
It's not an opinion.
No, it's not an opinion.
That's a fact. It's a statement of fact. Well, you've got to prove that statement.
It's my opinion.
You can't have an opinion about whether or not he's made a comment. He either has made a comment or he hasn't. And if he has, you could prove it. You don't want to, therefore it's a baseless assertion. It's not an opinion.
And should be retracted.
It's an opinion.
It's not. It's a baseless assertion.
No, it's an opinion. Get a grip here, okay?
Okay, so let me get this straight. In your opinion, Anthony's made comments on your video. What a crock of crap.
Yeah. No, in my opinion, Anthony argues in an intellectually dishonest way.
Well, now you've shifted the goalposts and changed the point you're making. Anyway, just let's move on. We've been joined by Huey. How are you doing, Huey? Hopefully, Huey's a lot more intellectually honest.
Isn't it interesting that Anthony...
we've also been joined by Jem. So, how are you doing, Jem?
Immediately,
Miles starts getting attacked, and then all of a sudden the
and tried to make this conversation about anything except the Isle of Man.
We can come on to the Isle of Man. I just need to introduce my two new guests. And
let's do it. I've only got about another 10 minutes here, so come on, let's do it.
I care how long you've got, Miles. Sod off if you don't want to be here. If you haven't got enough time, come back when you have. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the two new guests.
10 minutes.
Hello, Jeremy. Good evening, everyone.
How you doing, Huey? Good to have you here.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a question. Would it be a violation of the no swearing rule if the swear word is in a proper noun?
I don't really understand. Explain what you mean.
Well, you know what a proper noun is. It's a name, right? That's part of the name of something.
So if it was like talking about Mr. Fucker, for instance.
Yeah, that would be a proper noun.
Yeah, sure.
So can I use a swear word if it's part of a proper noun?
Yeah.
It sounds like a trap.
I don't mind. Go ahead.
Okay. Riley, are you there?
Yes.
Do you know you've been nominated for Dumb Fuck of the Year?
I knew that it was coming around. I didn't know specifically. I knew that I was on it somewhere at some point, but I don't know. I know it's Reds that does it.
You're one of the favourite.
You're in the lead.
You and Tommy Hall. Tommy Hall was a creationist who says that cancer is beneficial to the body because it gets rid of toxins. So there's you and Tommy Hall. You're the front runners. And just to let you know, I voted for you. I'm rooting for you to win
thanks. So
you're welcome.
The dumb fuck, right? So what I'll need to do then is find two adjectives that replace the word dumb fuck of the year, and I'll just do what ballers do. I'll just misrepresent what the DMF whatever award is, and I'll make my own little trophy up, and I'll claim it as a victory. So I'll just put a new. What I'll do if I do actually win it, I'll change my icon from Swinging Warrior because that's kind of running out of legs now, and I'll change it to something that is credible. So I'll find something suitable if it looks like I might actually win it. So thanks for the tip off. I'll find something suitable.
Tell me something, Anthony. Answer honestly. If you were to win this award,
answer honestly.
Jeremy, you will be proud of it. Won't it? If I was to win this, you to win it, won't it?
Sorry, what? I spoke over you. Sorry. If I was to win it, what?
If you were to win this award, it will please you to win it.
To be honest, Jeremy, I don't really care. What makes you think that it would have any effect on me?
I just think you would. I just think you will. I just think you'd be glad to win it.
Honestly, I don't care. I mean, I believe I came last time. Obviously, I didn't affect or trigger enough ballers last time. And I see it as a reflection of how many people in the Ball Earth camp get triggered, and not a reflection of dumb fuckery. So
anyway, shall we talk about the Isle of Man?
Huh? What a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not prepared to talk to you, Miles, about Isle of Man at this point, because as I said to you, I want you to either retract your previous statement or...
if we're going to stick on that, let me just throw this into the ring then. I think you said that what Miles said was hearsay. And I think if he hasn't produced evidence to back it up, so far, it is hearsay. And the audience can just decide based on that. Miles has provided a few details. If people want to go and check it out, they can, or they can just dismiss it as hearsay.
Yeah, but I actually want to know what I'm being accused of. I know he's accused me of... from what I understand...
told you what you're accused of, Anthony. Okay? Yeah, you asked for examples, and I gave you a couple of examples, one of which was the last... I'm not sure if it's the last time we were talking or another time we were talking. I asked you about a video that I'd made. I asked you whether you'd seen it, and you said no, you hadn't. And I then showed you comment section from that video in which you had made comments.
So I'm calling you a liar. I want to see the evidence that supports that assertion to be true. I'm calling you a liar, Miles, and I want to see the evidence that proves that statement to be true.
You want to see the evidence
that proves that statement.
You want to see the evidence that proves it's true. Well, fine. You can want. I'm not going to do it
until
now.
you produce or you retract your comment, then I'm not prepared to even talk to you, Miles.
Okay, so you for all your bluster over recent times about this, about how I have been utterly fraudulent, about all your insults on the comments channels, which I can't repeat here because of Nathan's no swearing rule.
Evidence,
and now
please.
you've got the opportunity to actually explain to me in a hangout, not even in a hangout that I can control, but one that's, you know, and make sure that it stays reasonably fair, but one that somebody else is in charge of. Actually, I've got to say to Nathan, I think these are a pretty good idea. I've only encountered them in the last couple of days, and it seems to be well run. But in spite of all that, you've been given the opportunity. As soon as I came on, the first thing you did was jump in with this stuff about dishonest and liar and wanting me to prove my case rather than talk about the Isle of Man.
Absolutely.
And now you're saying you won't talk about the Isle of Man.
You started with an assertion. If you'd have come on and said, can we talk about Isle of Man? I'd have gone,
I've given my opinion. That's it.
No, you haven't given an opinion. You've made a baseless assertion without any evidence, and you're expecting people to just accept it to be true. I'm calling you a liar. I'd like to see the evidence of whatever you said that I'm supposed to have done.
Okay, that's fine. Now we'll move on.
No, we don't move on. You either drop the comment because you haven't got the evidence to prove it to be true, or you present the evidence.
The comment was,
you haven't got
the comment
evidence,
was
so you have
made.
to back
It is
down
my
on it.
opinion, based on my recollection of events, as well as there have been other examples that Sean Hufford has mentioned, and there have been other examples
Sean
in videos.
Hufford continuously misrepresents me.
I've made my comment. It's my opinion. I don't have to produce evidence to back it up. Now, if you're prepared, if you're going to use that as an excuse not to talk about the Isle of Man, that's absolutely fine.
Sorry,
I'm not talking to you about
sorry,
evidence from Isle of Man
sorry,
until
Anthony.
you either retract or you provide
Sorry,
evidence.
Anthony. I just want to get this in. I've got to agree with Jem. You know, for me, what Flat Earth has given me is the ability to recognise that it's down to my judgment, and Jem has already assessed this for the audience's sake, which is to say that it's down to them to at this stage go, I accept this as baseless hearsay or opinion, if you want to phrase it that way, just not to be contentious, and then they make that decision. You too can make that decision. I understand because you're in opposition that you want it retracted, but he doesn't have to. You know, he's made the statement. You've made it clear that it's nonsense. People will decide.
Well, he does. If he wants me to move on and then discuss the Isle of Man, which I am desperately willing to do, I am not going to do that unless he retracts his statement or provides evidence. He can't provide evidence, and he doesn't want to retract it. Therefore, I'm not going to talk to you about it, Miles. Not now. We'll do it at the time when I said to you we would.
That is an excuse, Anthony, for not talking about it. I'm
so
sorry,
wrong.
but
fine.
I'm
That's
sorry,
your
but
opinion.
you've said all manner of things in the past.
That's your opinion.
And
You're entitled to your opinion.
Nobody is forcing you to produce evidence. And if I was to pull this sort of stunt, say, well, I'm not going to discuss the Isle of Man until you apologise for calling me subhuman and various other things, then we would get nowhere, would we?
Miles, you are doing the exact thing that you say that you're not doing. If I was to do this,
hello to Grim. I know you guys want to go
that's
back and forth on this point all day, but can I just say a quick hello to Grim?
I don't really. I really don't. I want to talk about the Isle of Man. I
want to talk about the Isle of Man,
now got,
but I'm not
just
going to do it on the back of a
left,
baseless assertion.
So
that's
we're not going to get it done.
Fair enough that he takes that stand.
I'd like to hear about the Isle of Man as well. Come on, Riley. Just
I would too, but he's perfectly within his rights to take that stand, and I don't blame him.
Well, yes, he can do. Yeah.
Anyway, hi Grim.
That's a shame. It's a shame. I'd like to have heard about that.
Me too, but that's his prerogative.
And do you know what? I really wanted to talk about it, and if you'd have just come on and said, "Let's talk about the Isle of Man," rather than coming on with a baseless assertion, then I would have talked about it.
But that's what I did say. You're the one who brought up the baseless assertion.
You were the one that said I watched the video. Look,
Anthony.
Miles.
Yeah,
arrange the time with me. We'll do the hangout.
Yeah, Anthony.
Let's all beat up on Anthony for a minute.
I didn't have to do that.
So
this is one of the reasons you've been nominated, Riley, because you're dishonest.
We lost him. Where did he go? Has he done? Oh,
yeah. No, I think he dropped it. He said he only had 10 minutes, and we weren't going to get the Isle of Man observation conversation done in 10 minutes anyway. It's going to take a lot
Well, I've
longer
been
than
on for 20 minutes or more, and you had that amount of time. I now, halfway in, I said I've got about 10 minutes. That was at 12:30. It's now 12:39 on my clock. So I am going to have
10
to
minutes
go.
then, did you? You
I
lied.
haven't yet got a message to say that I have to leave. So I'm here until I get that message. If you want to start talking about the Isle of Man, I'm happy to listen and join in.
Yeah, let's do
Certainly
the Isle
not,
of Man.
Miles.
Come on,
You've
bring
shown
it on.
you've shown your disingenuity by saying baseless assertions that you will neither retract nor prove and expect me to continue. I don't think so. That's not how debating works.
All right, tell us again how the moon's shadow goes through the sun. Then.
So where are we at? What else is there to talk about?
Isle of Man, come on.
Vernal equinox.
We only want to talk about the Isle of Man, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm not
Hey,
prepared
I'm
to
here.
talk
I'm
about
real.
the Isle of Man at this point.
Sibilis.
Okay, let's go.
Been joined by Tony. How you doing, Tony?
Hey, how you doing? What's up, guys?
Not so bad.
I'm just gonna be
Hi, man.
listening.
Welcome.
I'm just
What's up,
listening.
Syphilis?
Jeremy, do you want to ask me questions about the
Did you say syphilis?
award?
I said Sibilis. Sibilis. 1, 2, check with Sibilis. It's a
Don't
mic
ask
thing.
you questions about what?
Same thing.
The
I've heard it
Reds
both
award.
ways.
We were talking about the Reds Rhetoric Award.
Well, yeah, I think we've done that.
Yeah, I voted
Oh.
too. I voted Riley.
That's okay. I listen. I don't mind if you guys think that there's an award in being that description, then so be it. But obviously, no, it's not. Whatever. There's nothing.
It's just a bit of fun, Riley. Don't take it
I know.
to heart.
But it's fun that nobody on the flat Earth side acknowledges. It's only the ball Earthers that acknowledge it. So it's not really an award, is it? It's just an insult in the guise of.
Well, I don't know.
award.
You had the flatties, and some of those were satirical in nature.
I think there was only one, and it was the guy that's not on the scene anymore.
Right. Well, that's all you
I've
need.
got to go, guys. My message has just come in. Just posted in chat.
See you later, Miles.
Bye.
Miles,
Thank
Keep
you
up
very
the
much
work.
for joining, Miles. Really appreciate it.
So do you think the flat Earth community is behind you? Do you, Riley?
Well, the bandwagon fallacy is nothing to do with truth. So if the flat Earth community, as you put it, is behind me or not, is irrelevant. It's about whether the truth is the truth, and that's the only thing.
I gotta give it to you.
I know
you
that.
don't run out of gas. At least you just continue on as if no mistakes have ever been made.
No.
Gotta give it to you.
You said something about the flat Earth community not being on board with this.
With what?
Big round of applause to you, Anthony.
I
think he
stand
stands
by
a good
everything I've
chance
said,
this year.
dude. I accept that there are people in flat Earth that don't agree
Tommy
with me,
Hall's-
but that's fine. But at least I present evidence that supports my
You mean
position.
it's on Red Rhetorics?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, I missed that
Yeah,
question. What
I
was the
stand a
question?
pretty good chance too over there, and I'm a baller, so I don't know if it's got much to do with anything.
No, you don't, Grim, because you haven't been nominated. You can't win it.
G-Man's a past winner and True Empiricism.
Yeah, you can't.
And Jeranism. Jeranism won too 1 year.
Gizm's won it, yeah. G-Man. And Rocket Ronnie, what's his name? True, yeah. But you can't be nominated once you win it.
Yeah. Then in 10 years we can have like
can't
the
win the award
lifetime
twice?
achievement of stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that DFOTY award is literally it's application of the bandwagon fallacy by ball earthers. That's all it is. Nothing
It's
more.
just a bit of fun. No, it's not just ball earthers, Riley.
Yeah, but it's applied by ball earthers.
No.
Well, it's done by Red's Rhetoric, who's hardly neutral, is he?
Oh, who said he was?
Well, you said that it's not done by ball earthers. It kind of is.
Well, there's not just ball earthers in there. There's also creationist skeptics. Tommy Hall's a creationist. I don't think Tommy Hall's a flat earther.
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't know. I
Zeppelin 3 almost
realize
made it,
Red.
but he hasn't done anything this year. So
He's
I didn't
into
realize Reds was
he's
back.
the epigenetics guy, isn't he?
yeah, he's the one that thinks that the moon's craters are from the Noah's Ark, the Earth opening up and the water shooting up and hitting the moon.
Nephilim, yeah. I've had a few run-ins with him.
Right, before you guys get into moaning about the YouTubers and talking about the, and I'm going to say it, Dumb Fuck of the Year award, I'm going to do a last link. So, interesting show this has been, sniped that it has been. If you are new to this channel, or you are one of the 50% plus that are not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside the show while it is live, and if you would like to join the panel to express your views on the shape of the Earth, click on the mute button on the page you are currently watching, then click the link below this video to join the panel and express your views. There are only a couple of rules. Number 1, please do not swear. If you do, you will be ejected. And number 2, if you are ejected, please do not try to rejoin using sock accounts. If you've not done so already, please share the show on social media. And with that, I'll pass you back to the guys on Skype and Google Hangouts.
I totally forgot what we were talking about.
Hit that super chat.
Just anywhere on the circle. You can start from anywhere on the circle. We'll get back to it. Earth is round. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. You'll catch up. Equinox. Crickets. More crickets.
So anyway, I only came in really to just put this thing to the test of who was being sniped and who wasn't. I seem to have survived it now.
Yeah,
no,
clearly,
I
clearly
think
the Flat Earthers.
I was put out on SOS.
Flat Earthers were getting sniped. Just goes to show, doesn't it? Who's worried and who's not.
I don't know. I mean, were you sniped, Riley?
Well,
Had you already been
sniped?
sniped?
I was the first one sniped, yeah.
Right.
Jeremy, what do you think of Brenda's admission that she's deleted 160 odd files that belong to Crow 777?
Well, like I said before, I think she shouldn't have done that, but I think people are making a bit of a fuss about it, to be honest. I mean, just re-upload them. It's
Crow 777, you're the alien guy.
probably, I don't know, maybe it can take him a couple of hours to do it. You know, probably 6 clicks of his mouse. I mean, you know.
Are you defending her, though? Are you defending that? Sounds like you're diluting it a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Come on,
probably.
if
am
I did that to
diluting
you,
it a
Jen,
little
would you
bit
be
from
pissed
all
off?
the,
Come on.
you know, people talking about it being a crime, and you know, come on. If he was that bothered about it, why would he have made the folder so public? You know.
Well, that's the point of them, isn't it?
You really care. Sorry, Nat. Go ahead.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? They're there to share information so that you can do it in a way that doesn't require email addresses and sending emails over and all that. It just makes it easy. But it kind of goes with the obvious implied term that if I share this with you, that you're not going to delete stuff.
But, you know, why would you do that? You know, why would you? Do you know what I mean? If you were really bothered about the stuff that's in there, then you're going to be a little bit cagey about who you give the link to.
Yeah, but
right?
it's an implied term that as your opponent, if I gave you a Google Drive with my stuff on it and you knew that it was my stuff and I valued it and it was there to make my points on, say, for instance, Blackpool Tower.
Well, I would agree. That's why I said I don't think she should have done it. But
but what I'm saying is it's an implied term that if I gave you the link, that
re-upload them, that's it. It's done with. You know what I mean? Remove her from the group and re-upload the videos. It's all over with. We can forget about it.
I think you're diluting it unfairly in favour of Brenda. I don't think that's something that should be diluted. I think that what she's done is abhorrent.
It's the worst. It's the worst possible crime that's ever occurred, even though it could be solved with probably 2 hours and a few clicks of a mouse.
Yeah, but it's the breach of the implied trust. That's the issue,
but it is
anyway. Here's one for you.
Truly terrible, and Brenda should be shot at dawn.
No, she should just be ostracized out of flat Earth because she's not a ball earther. She's something else.
Ostracized.
Yeah.
You don't
Completely
think Brenda is ostracized?
Yeah. She's obviously not here to discuss the shape of the Earth, is she?
In any way. You haven't noticed a bit of ostracization going on in reference to Brenda, because I fucking have.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, no need for swearing. Come on.
I don't see her being ostracized personally.
That's my first.
Who's up with the latest situation with Jaron and Pastor Dean Odell? Have you heard about that fight?
He should be ostracized.
Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Well,
my position is that flat Earth's got nothing to do with any religion.
Pastor Dean Odell has accused Jaron of being the Antichrist.
The power of flat Earth compels you.
Well, I saw Jaron's response video.
This is an ostracism.
I mean, I thought he. Sorry, Grim. I thought he made a few newbie, sort of newbie anti-Bible arguments, but I thought he made some good points too.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent. Yeah, he did have some points, I think.
I mean, you can't really argue contradictions with a Christian.
No, they don't accept it. But this is the other thing. Should any religion, be it Christian or Catholic or Islam or whatever, should that even be in flat Earth? Does it have a place?
Well, the origin of the flat Earth is in extremist Christianity. If you go back to what's his name, Samuel Rowbotham.
Yeah,
it was fun.
There's not a lot of atheist flat earthers, is there?
In fact, before the modern movement, they're all fundamentalist Christians, all of them.
But how many are fundamental
going
Christians?
Back, 1500 years.
That's the word you want to get out of that.
That's where it all comes from, Riley. It's Christian fundamentalism. Rowbotham was a Christian fundy and a charlatan. And Eric
have you got any evidence that supports that Rowbotham was a Christian fundamentalist? And even if he did, would it prove that it was the reason for the movement?
That was his argument. He argued it was like a two-pronged assault. He pitched science against the Bible, and he argued from his experimentation. But he was definitely, well, actually, he may not have been a fundamentalist Christian. He may have just been someone who claimed to be, because with Rowbotham,
fundamental fundies as prey.
He's pretty.
That's how he had to be.
With Rowbotham, he's pretty dishonest. He does some sort of fairly, sort of dodgy things. He uses, half a dozen names in his lifetime, and he arranges lectures, which he sells tickets for, and then doesn't turn up and does a runner, and he does that a number of times. That's probably what led to him using the name Parallax. Because prior to that, he used the name S. Golding.
Gleason was a fundy as well.
And then he reneged on a series of lectures where he just collected the money and was nowhere to be seen. And
how do you know these are true?
They actually printed a warning in the paper to local tradesmen not to deal with this Mr. S. Golding.
It sounds like a smear, though, doesn't it? It does sound a lot like smear.
I mean, we read in the paper that you shouldn't trust Donald Trump, the president of America, but does that mean it's true?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I'm definitely not saying. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't accept flat Earth on the basis of the character of Rowbotham. That's just where the conversation led. But that would be the same. That was the same as what you guys do when you say, "Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson this" or "Bill Nye that." It's right. They're irrelevant.
Except for they've kept their name the same their whole life now.
Well, yeah.
I actually think that from the religion point of view, I think that there's no connect with any of the mainstream religions to flat Earth, unless you were going to use flat Earth to try and promote your religion.
What's the natural explanation for flat Earth?
It's empirical. It's an empirical debate, isn't it? It's empirical by nature. It's not based on belief, or it shouldn't be based on belief. It's based on what can be proved to be true. So
yeah, but you also have to believe that there's a massive conspiracy going on, and you have to at least speculate on a motivation for that conspiracy. And
well,
that's
where
where
and when you do
hold
speculate on the reason for why that conspiracy might be there, you would reasonably
and
conclude.
that's where, for most flat earthers, I find when when asked on that, they'll usually say it's to take us away from God or hide our spiritual destiny or something along those lines. So,
but would you agree though, if the Earth was actually flat, it kind of means that we were created in some way, be it religion or otherwise, something has created us.
I don't think
actually, if the Earth was flat, then it would be even less amazing than it is as a round Earth.
Yeah, you see it all goes
back
back
to an all-knowing being and a God that's creating. I mean, what's the big? Why wouldn't he have made a round Earth and got all the sides of use out of it?
Enclosed creation.
Hey.
So back to my question.
Why was he dumb and only used one side? You know what I mean? He didn't get the maximum economic viability out of that situation, did he?
It is a religious
genius.
They ran out of material at the time.
Flat Earth genius.
So back to the question I asked: if it turned out
there's a lot of
flat
earthers don't
does
realize,
that
but
not kind of prove that it was created in some way?
I think most have got some sort of religious view on it, even if it's just to say, "Oh well, I believe there's a creator." That that's the stance a lot of people.
Even Jism, who stood up there at the conference and saying they're hiding God, is now speaking out against Christianity, but they're hiding God. So it's this creationism. It's called enclosed creationism.
Is creationism religion, though?
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Well, I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of evidence that shows that we were created.
If you've got a creator, then it's theism.
Yeah, but hang on. I don't accept that there has to be a religion for it to be creation. There could be no religion whatsoever, and we could be in some kind of construct that is clearly intelligent design, but not of God, not of a God, be it whatever God you accept to be true.
Construct, though.
Almost every speaker at the conference stood up there saying they're hiding God from us.
I mean, if you were to say, for instance, if you were to posit, for instance, it was aliens that did it, it was some advanced race of aliens, then I think if they were capable of creating a planet, particularly a flat planet that actually would somehow be defying the laws of physics that we know of, then I think for all intents and purposes they would be a god to us. They would qualify.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then this then takes us down the route of where did the humans come from? Because the humans has argued that we evolved from apes and gem pandas and stuff like that. But the reality is we have numerous organs in our body that are like heart, lungs, liver, all them things that are individual organs that can't evolve all at the same time to create a human. You would get one first, then the other, then the other. But why would all the others follow if one came?
No, you wouldn't. There's no.
How the hell do you know that? Like, you just postulate.
Think about it logically. Think about it. We've all got small intestines, large intestines, lungs, heart, liver, pancreas. You need all them things to formulate together. Otherwise, humans can't evolve. What are the chances of forget humans evolving, but all the individual components that make a human? How would they all evolve exactly at the same time?
Even one cell amoebas have structure to them that's complex.
Yeah, but that's the point. Diverse. It's more complex than making it simplified.
Diverse, complex characteristics evolve all the time together.
Right.
I don't know. You're just making baseless assertions again. I mean, welcome to the
club.
I'm
asking how likely is it that if humans evolved from monkeys or whatever, the monkeys had all these organs.
I don't know that happens. That's just a theory of evolution. There's many. Have you heard of the Ebner effect? A very real mechanism of evolution that we don't have to guess, and we can use EM fields to actually see these things happen. Yeah, most people don't. That's the most largely overlooked mechanism for evolution, and it's the one that's never looked at. It's called the Ebner effect. I mean, it's direct.
Can you throw a link? Can you throw a link, Grim, about that? Or I'll just look it up. Ebner effect. Okay.
No.
Sounds like a baseless assertion then if you're asked for evidence and then can't do it.
No, because I've been around. Everybody on this show has seen me pass that link to the Ebner effect at least twice. I'm not into it.
Oh, right. So it's now a fact.
Oh, okay.
Can you type? Can anybody just type or, Ebner
Well,
effect.
we know what
am
the
I
word
the
is.
only?
Ebner.
Am I the,
How do you spell
the
that?
gatekeeper for you? Am I the?
Anyway,
you gonna let me block you from knowing something?
To simplify this, obviously,
You're my brain's doorman.
Organs evolve together. You get it. You know, you don't have some organism that somehow some bit of it doesn't work.
Because I didn't hand you a link that it doesn't exist.
Evolution, what you've got is something that's well evolved for its particular environment.
Okay, but then let's go back even further. Then let's go back to the point of inception, where the sperm penetrates the egg inside the actual the what's it called, the ovary or whatever it's called. The moment when the sperm gets through and penetrates the egg,
that's a rudimentary.
That little tiny sperm bursts into a huge, massive human in 18 years' time. That is creation. That's not science. Because if it was science, it would be capable of reproduction.
And with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to our studio, to our audience for joining us on this live show. And also a massive thank you to my kid for screaming over the end of the show. But a massive thank you to the panel. And a big thank you to all who have shared the show. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.